Thanks for joining us. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Mohammed Yusuf. Actually, I'm 25 years old. I have developed a good American accent. Some people might say that I have been living very long, maybe in a English speaking country, but it's been probably about 1 year that I moved to US because of the political issues that was happening in my hometown, our home country, and I'm 25. I'm uh, planning to get the IELTS exam in about 1 month, and this is me here.
What have you done to prepare for the writing section?
The only section that I'm lagging in is the writing section. So right now, currently, I'm aiming at my weak points, and the trick that I use is we all have one default account that we listen to music. For example, we binge watch some videos.
Yes.
I have a separate account for studying IELTS. So whenever
Oh.
I study, I sign out of the default account. I go to the other account and I just study. And I only subscribe to the channels that produce IELTS content.
Oh,
And
amazing.
that's when I encountered with your channel technique to it really helps you focus.
Yes, for sure. And that's definitely a great tip for other students to follow as well who's going to listen to this is just to avoid any distractions. I think in today's day and age we have so many distractions. Our phones
Absolutely.
going off every second. You know, distractions within the home. So if you could find ways of getting less distracted and creating, so you said you created a separate Google account or?
I made a separate channel. So on the
Okay.
one email, you can create multiple channels.
Yes.
So I did not use my default account for studying
Yes.
because I did that for example, you're in the middle of studying and here's the video and here are the suggestions. So your favorite song is
Yeah.
next to the video, so you gotta click it and listen to it
Yes.
1 or 2 times. So it's gonna consume your time
Yes, definitely.
unconsciously.
Yes, that's great. So, how often do you watch these YouTube videos?
Actually, during the day, I'm at my job, I work, and when I come home, I eat, I take some rest, and then I go to my IELTS studying account,
Yes.
and then I go there, and these days I'm only focusing on the writing section. So at first I did not know that for example, for advantage, disadvantage, you have to use one structure. For problem and problem solution,
Yeah, problem and solution. Yeah.
you have to use another.
A different one. Yes.
So I'm like step by step learning
Yes.
every day.
That's amazing. And how about with the, I know you're talking a lot about IELTS writing task two, the essay. What about the task one? Do you have a hard time reading any visuals like pie charts, line graphs, and then analyzing the data and summarizing it?
Honestly, at first, it was so hard for me to analyze and take notice of the trends in the graph. For example, I was opening a video, a YouTube video of someone who was explaining the task one. They were working on an example. So I used to pause the video and do the task myself and then compare my writing to the video. In the middle of the video, I was noticing that, oh my God, I did not notice that obvious trend here, there. I was so overwhelmed, but by the time I have gotten better, I can see my results has changed. And the only part that sometimes I still struggle with is there are two parts that I'm still struggling with. The first one is the paraphrasing. So I lack some words sometimes to, for example, use acquaintances instead of friends. So that's the first point that I'm lacking with. The second one is sometimes you have to group the information, right? Whether you write it in two paragraphs Sometimes you speak about increasing trends in the first and decreasing in the second. So I do struggle with that still.
Yes, and I think that's so important because actually the examiner, one of one of the band descriptors in the writing section, you will be marked on how clear and concise you are able to relay your message, how clear and concise you are able to actually write your paragraphs and even break it down between the different paragraphs. So that's great that you recognize that and you are working towards it. And I'm very happy to hear that you notice a big improvement from when you first started studying till now. Because as you know, the only way to get better is through practice, right? Just like how you learned your speaking, I have faith that you could get just as good in writing with that practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And the other point, or a little tip that I want to share for the viewers is that um, the students who first discovered that you have to write according to a structure, others might not fall in the trap that I feel, but I will still share it. I was thinking whenever I understood about the structures, I was thinking that you have to be so restricting these structures. If you
Yes.
slip like 2% or 5% or a little bit, you're gonna get marked lower.
That structure is more of just like a starting point of how exactly for you to understand what would work and what wouldn't. Or, because many students think, okay, I'm just going to start writing. I'm going to write two main ideas in the first body paragraph, but that's not the case because once again the band descriptors, you're marked on how clearly and concisely you deliver your message. And if you're not able to structure your paragraphs correctly, then that would affect your marks. So you could slip off, like you said, but as long as you know what you're doing, then that's a great starting point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned it through like hard way.
Yes, yes. But you know what? That's great that you learned it before taking the exam. So now you know the right way to, the right steps to take to learn the writing skill.